Welcome, family. Welcome to another episode of King Simon Presents Only Quality People. And today's quality guest will be on at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. That's the only time he can make it on because he's a night bird. So big up to my dear brother, Kaba Kamene. Of course, Kaba Hiawatha Kamene. That's right. Brother Professor Kaba will be with us. The topics will be education, authorship, Dr. Sebi's influence in the health world. Influence in the health world. So those that are on IG, you can come on over to YouTube at King Simon Presents or KSPTV Media. And we're going to have a good time because I won't be on IG too long. I wasn't able to set up the IG, but I am broadcasting on King Simon Presents and Numerovation News and Views, my other YouTube channel, just in case of emergency. You know how we do. Welcome, family. I hope everybody's having a wonderful time. It is the 26th of November. Happy born day to my dear brother, Dr. the late, great Alfredo Bowman, the one, the only Dr. Sebi. Let's give him a well-deserved round of applause. He would have been 92 years around the earth today. Here's to Dr. Sebi. Dr. Sebi meant a lot to the world, and I want all of y'all to share this because I'm going to share an old clip that I had with Dr. Sebi back in the day. I'm going to share an old clip with Dr. Sebi back in the day. Forgive me for the alarm here. And we're going to play it until our brother Kaba Kamene come on. A tribute to Dr. Sebi when I brought him in town in 2009 on November the 14th, 2009. That happens to be Red Pill and Blue Pill's birthday, and Blue Pill launched his product on that day. So those who want to watch it on YouTube, please let me put it in IG. Please come to YouTube, YouTube at either King Simon Presents or KSP Media. Always on YouTube. Okay, so I'm gonna put that in the chat just in case. This is happening on YouTube. Those who want to leave Instagram and come to YouTube, I will not be broadcasting this on Instagram. So I hope everybody is well. How you feeling in the chat? How y'all doing out there? Let me shout out some of the people that's in the building. Houston is in the building. Big up to Houston in the building. Yeah, big up to greetings, family, creator, goddess, and New Diamonds. What's up, beautiful New Diamonds? How you doing, my sister? In the building. Big up to her. Make sure you support her. I shouted out her flyer already, but since she's in the chat, boom, make sure y'all go to newdiamonds.net.com and hit her up on New Diamonds. And of course, spread love via New Diamonds also 101. So you know how we get down. Also want to remind every beautiful person that this coming Sunday, we're going to be making history. This coming Sunday, we're going to be making history with Dr. Philip Valentine and Brother B. Dell, an exclusive conversation and Q&A session on the journey of the torchbearers. Phil Valentine was once a torchbearer. My brother B. Dell is a torchbearer. I myself are a torchbearer. You out there, male and female, are all torchbearers if they're passing on some type of knowledge and wisdom to the next generation. It will be public from 8 to 9 and then be private from 9 to 10 on KSP Media membership. That's the private one, and Patreon membership at King Simon Production. So y'all want to be a part of that? That's going to be beautiful. Make sure y'all there. And we're going to be interviewing the one that's of course, a lot of misunderstandings going on. A lot of misinformation is being put out there about this brother, this elder who's 80 years, just turned 80 years old. And this brother here, we're going to talk about it. We're going to ask him the important questions. Professor James Smalls will be on my platform on Wednesday, December the 3rd. And that will be at 9 p.m. sharp. That's December the 3rd, 9 p.m. sharp. And then, of course, I want to remind all you beautiful people before we start playing certain things and before I bring on Kaba, those that are going to be in New York for the 2 days, December 6th and December 7th, they're going to be doing a celebration of life in Manhattan for the late, great Baba Heru at 1 p.m. It starts at the Caribbean Cultural Center, African Diaspora Institute, and also at Medgar Evers on Sunday, December the 7th. That's all starting at 1 p.m. Both of them start at 1 p.m. So make sure y'all get there early so you can get some seats. And those that are so in love to Jamaica and the rest of the Caribbean, but this one is for Jamaica Strong Benefit Concert, Friday, December the 12th. Shaggy, Sean Paul, Kess, Marcia Griffiths, Chronix Law, Kimani Marley, Gramps Morgan, Idonia, and Richie Stevens, Mikey Spice, TOK, Inner City. All of them are going to be at the UBS Arena over there on Hempstead Turnpike. I might be over there also. And I might be one of the MCs or just be in the crowd just chilling. So we're going to have a good time over there. And as I get back into the roots of conscious reggae like I used to do. And then after the 12th, we got Professor James Smalls will be at Nicholas, Brooklyn, answering all and any question about the global spiritual work and how to correctly use it. And any other question that may be posed. So get your early bird tickets before December the 1st, $30 before December 1st, and $40 after, more at the door. Sister Kafunya is opening. Felicia Harder from Hoppy is opening. And Joshua Sarah is also one of the opening acts to speak. Each one of them will have at least 15, 20 minutes to 30 minutes. It'll be an hour within the whole hour. They open in at least an hour before he comes on. But it's going to be very extraordinary. And that's happening on December the 13th at Nicholas, Brooklyn. That's 1390 Fulton Street. Nicholas, Brooklyn. We have Professor James Smalls coming in. Again, make sure you get your tickets at Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. That's Linktree/King Simon the Numerovator. And want to remind everybody that myself and Paris Williams will be opening for the great Queen of Fua on December the 21st. December the 21st will not be the same as Eye Opener Productions presents this great Queen, Empress Mother, I like to call her, the one, the only Queen of Fua at the LIU building over there, the Health and Science building. Big up to Brother Shabazz if you want to bend, if you want to be a part of it, you want to get your tickets, early bird tickets, because there's more at the door. Call him or text him at 347-683-8122. That's 347-683-8122. Our guest is in the background, but what I'm going to do before we bring up our guest, because today is Dr. Sebi's birthday, I want to play a clip from one of my lectures that I produced with Dr. Sebi back in 2009 at the St. Anthony Baptist Church in Brooklyn, right there at Empire Boulevard in Utica. I passed it numerous times since I've been here in New York. I'm still in New York right now, heading back to Georgia soon, but still will be back and forth to New York a lot. So without further ado, let me, before I bring on our brother Kaba, I want to play this clip of Dr. Sebi, because again, he would be celebrating 92 years on this planet if he's still with us. So let me make sure that I put that up right here now in front. Dr. Sebi would be celebrating 92. He was born 92 years. He was born in 1933. He transitioned in August 6, 2016. So without any further ado, let me bring on my brother, the one, the only, Dr. Sebi, right there at St. Anthony's Baptist Church in Brooklyn, a King Simon production at my 14th anniversary in production and promotion.
What the brain showed me was that when the human body is sick, it's because we've been eating the wrong food. And where did I heard that for the first time? Messenger Elijah Muhammad. That's right. He was the first man to say that. I think the only man. So when you put gasoline in a diesel car, it's not going to run right? So now we need the love that God provided for us. We need to eat the food that God made. How I go about curing AIDS and sickle cell and lupus, I give everybody the same compounds. Well, how does it address all these various manifestations of disease? Because there's only one disease. There's never been two. There's only one.
Mucus.
Mucus.
What?
When the mucous membrane has been compromised, you will have a disease where that compromising takes place. If it's in the nasal passage, it's sinusitis. If it's in the lungs, it's pneumonia. But this mucus on the lungs, mucus in the bronchial tubes, is what? Bronchitis. Then the physician says, and what about AIDS? And what about AIDS, you and your one disease theory? I said, Your Honor, I do not believe in theories because I have never been to school. You see, I either know or I don't know. I don't live in a world of theories or belief. No, I don't live there. He asked, what about AIDS? Yes, Dr. Sebi, where the mucus is in the blood, the skin, and the lymphatic system, which makes up what? The immunological system. That's where you find the mucus. And I know, because I'm the only one curing AIDS as for right now that I know about. I hope that there are others, and they should be. Not only Sebi. Why should Sebi take on that great responsibility? No, it shouldn't be like that. But it is like that. It is where we are now. We should be here for a reason. Like Pushkin, the Russian philosopher, the Russian writer, he said that there could be no occurrence unless that occurrence was supposed to occur. And that's the fact. How could you deny it? It's like writing history without writing about Hitler. Whether you like him or not. Did he live?
Yes.
Thank you. We are on the same journey. So as I make this compound to cleanse the body, I also found something out. That when they removed us from Africa, there were a mineral that they didn't give us from that day until now. Iron. None of us have had iron in our body. And there could be no disease manifesting unless there is a deficiency of iron. Impossible. So what did Dr. Sebi do? He cleansed the body, feed the body the minerals that the body needs, and the body repairs itself. It's as simple as that.
Happy born day to our late great cosmic return to our late great Dr. Sebi, who would have been 92 today. Then I believe he would have still been vibrant if he was still alive today, doing his thing as he would. But another person who was a good friend of his, I'm about to bring up right now to help celebrate and talk more and give more information about different other things. I want to welcome on our platform. He's not new to my platform. He's been on my platform. What a loving brother that I've known this brother for many years, even from the UAM back in the day of Slave Theater. I used to watch him speak, and when he was under the name Booker T. Coleman. I want all of you to put your mother flipping hands together for the one, the only, my brother, your brother, the one, the only, Kaba Hiawatha Kamene in the building. How are you, my brother?
Peace, family. Peace to you, my brother King. And peace to the family that's in tune right now. It's just really a pleasure to be able to celebrate, particularly someone like Dr. Sebi.
Yes, sir.
Who, as you know, and those that were ever exposed to him know that he was probably one of the most dynamic people to come into our world and to be able to share with us the type of information that he had. I tell the story of my exposure to him when I was, my background is teaching. I was an educator in the Board of Ed. And I used to take the bus to and from work. And every Wednesday, those of you from New York, there's an African-American newspaper called the Amsterdam News. Right. And I remember when they had charged Dr. Sebi with his assertion that he had the cure for AIDS and for diabetes and for all of the other diseases that afflicted us, cancer. And I followed his trial in the Amsterdam News. And I remember October 1st, 1988. I was on the bus, 26 bus in the Bronx, on my way home. And I remember that he had been released. He had been let go in terms of the charges that were brought against him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Brother King, whenever a black man can be let go, when he posed such a danger to some of the major pharmaceuticals, medical profession, when they let him go, that day was a Wednesday.
Yeah.
Because that's when the Amsterdam News came out, every Wednesday.
Right.
And I had a subscription. And I remember when I read that, I said, I've got to know that man. I just have to know him. I had been vegetarian on and off, for a while. But I said, I got to know him. So I went down to 616 Pacific Street, right down where the Barclays Center is today.
In Brooklyn. That's right.
In fact, they got rid of him. They removed him from his herbal center in order to build the Barclays Center.
Eventually, yes.
Eventually, when the Barclays Center went up, that's where it was, on Pacific Street.
Because that was a whole plan for that area, because I lived up the block.
Okay, well, you know what I say then.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay, and they put people in the front lines to convince us that should happen.
Yeah.
So I went, and at the time, as you said earlier, prior to my correction of my name, Kaba Hiawatha Kamene, I was Booker Taliaferro Coleman Jr.
Right.
And I remember I went for my consultation. Dr. Sebi, he said, "Oh, Booker T, I like that name." And he said, "What do you do?" I said, "I'm a teacher." He said, "Well, I like you even better. you name Booker T and you're a teacher." And through the time, this was October 4th. It was a Saturday, 1988. That was my first introduction. And I remember that through the years that followed, but see, I used to order my products from his wife, Ma'at, Sister Ma'at.
Yes.
She was in Rio Piedras in Puerto Rico. And like when I used to get the Maya for the blood and Nervino I used to get by the case. I didn't want to get 2 or 3 bottles. I wanted a case of 24.
Right.
And so that was my introduction to Sister Ma'at. And so I invited him to come to a presentation that I was doing on melanin.
Yes.
And I remember he came and he left at the end, and I was busy talking to folk. And when I went back down to the institute and he was there, I said, "Dr. Sebi, what did you think about my presentation about melanin?" And he looked at me, and Dr. Sebi
Yes, sir.
had his ways.
Yeah, that's why I'm laughing, sir.
Those that know Dr. Sebi. Sebi was just a very unique human being.
Exactly.
He said, "Booker T," I'm going to make it nice. He said, "Booker T, you're always talking about melanin, but it was carbon before melanin." Now, Dr. Sebi has joined the ancestors, as you've said, 2016.
Yes, sir.
But I wrote a series of books. And one of the books that I wrote, I felt was so important. And that Dr. Sebi, you see, when you're well, first of all, when you're a teacher, the teachers are the best students. And when Dr. Sebi told me that, I took him very serious when he said it was carbon before melanin. Now, I had been introduced to carbon. You remember last time I think Dr. Richard King was in New York, was in Brooklyn. We were there. And so was Blessings on Our Ancestor, Baba Heru.
Baba Heru, yes.
He was there also. Blessings on that brother. We'll be celebrating his time on Earth, December 6th and 7th. I'll be there on the 6th.
Yeah, I'll be there on the 6th or the 7th. These are the two flyers I got. Been promoting it. Yes, sir. Definitely supporting
Okay.
our brother. Yes, sir.
Yes, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were there. And I remember first hearing about melanin from Dr. Frances Cress Welsing back in the 70s.
Mm.
But that wasn't the topic of her conversation. So her mentioning of melanin didn't stick with me.
Right. Right.
But then Richard King in the 80s, 82, when he came to First World Alliance,
Mm-hmm.
that was that was his presentation theme. He was talking about melanin.
Mm.
Long story short, coming back to Dr. Sebi, I did research on carbon,
Right.
deep research, and studied it and came to look at it from a certain perspectives. And out of that, my fourth book that I wrote was Carbon Before Melanin.
Mm.
And I purposefully titled it that and honored Dr. Sebi. In fact, the chapter on carbon, I dedicate to Dr. Sebi.
Mm-hmm.
Because carbon is so important. And as I was researching carbon, as I was researching melanin, I was teaching it to children in the Board of Ed. I was going around the country teaching it. I began to realize how important what Dr. Sebi said was.
Yes.
Because you see, carbon is an atom.
Mm.
Melanin is a molecule.
Right.
But you have to understand the relationships
Yes.
between an atom, an element, and a molecule.
Mm.
And the way I talk to people, I say, let me take you into an ice cream store. And I'm going to explain to you so you understand the difference between an atom, an element, and a molecule. An atom is the flavor.
Mm.
Chocolate, pecan, praline, whatever your flavor is, that's the atom. The element is the actual scoop of ice cream, chocolate, strawberry, vanilla. And the molecule is when you put multiple elements on the same cone, like sometimes you get vanilla, strawberry, and chocolate. Each one of those scoops of ice cream is a molecule. It is what makes that ice cream cone what it is. We have four major atoms, as Dr. John G. Jackson, in his phenomenal work, Introduction to African Civilization, he tells us in this book in the beginning that there are four major atoms on the planet. There are others, but four major ones.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be nitrogen, oxygen, hydrogen, and carbon. He said you could put two hydrogen together and one oxygen together, you have H2O, water.
Right.
You could put two hydrogen together, two oxygen together, and you have hydrogen peroxide. He said, but for oxygen, hydrogen, and nitrogen, you can only put no more than four of those atoms together to create a molecule.
Mm-hmm.
But with the introduction of carbon,
Mm-hmm.
carbon is a cosmic glue. Carbon is an atom that not only can bind with itself, but it binds all the other millions,
Mm-hmm.
and I would even dare say billions of molecules
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that exist. So when Dr. Sebi was saying carbon before melanin, what he was saying is that without the cosmic glue, when you study the work of Carol Barnes and you look at his melanin molecule,
Mm-hmm.
you'll see hydrogen atom, you see oxygen there, and you see hydrogen. But none of them would stick together if it wasn't for carbon. So what Dr. Sebi was telling us, in order to understand melanin, you must understand carbon.
Yes.
And so in my book, Carbon Before Melanin, what I'm doing is I'm taking the concepts of science and I'm bringing the creator down on earth. And I'm showing you, when you hear people talk about the God particle, you hear people say the God body.
Yeah.
Whenever you hear anybody talking about the creator, that is melanin. And that becomes very important to understand. That's why I subtitled my book Creators on Earth. It has a double entendre, a double meaning.
That's right. That's right. That's
It
right.
acts as a possessive. Creator is on earth.
Right.
And it's a plural. Creators on earth. Because each and every one of us is the creator having a human experience.
Right.
And so as we celebrate Dr. Sebi's 92nd birthday today, and hey, man, you know numbers, right? So
Yes,
you know we're dealing with 2.
Yes, sir. That's right.
9 and 2 is 11.
Is 11, that master number.
1 and 1 is 2.
That's right.
Okay, it is the first number beyond the set that we call 1 set 0 left over. It's 1 set 1 left over.
Yes.
Which takes the creator and puts him in to what's called a menta, the hidden land, which in most Abrahamic religions is called heaven. And that's where Dr. Sebi resides right now. He is the God particle. And so it's good to celebrate Dr. Sebi today. And I'm glad that we were able to arrange this conversation.
Man,
because it's just very important. You know, King Simon, my thing has always been to understand the importance of who we are as a people.
Yes.
Okay. And I know that there are many people who will try to shortchange us. I know there are many people who will try to play us down. And I know that they will play with our emotions.
Yes.
Okay. They will try to separate us, to divide us.
Yes.
But Dr. Sebi always said, another important thing Dr. Sebi always said, and Sister Ma'at repeats it constantly, and Victor, his son, repeats it, and those that knew Dr. Sebi and came from his thought process. Dr. Sebi used to say, and again, it was salty language now.
Yes, it was.
But I'll leave that for another day when I'm speaking to people in public as opposed to on the air. But what he said is that, you know, you all come to get all these herbs, and you take these herbs, and then you come back to me and you say these herbs don't work. And Dr. Sebi said, but the first step in healing is self-love.
Yes.
You have to love yourself.
That's right.
Herbs will do nothing for you if you don't love yourself.
That's right.
If you're just looking for a cure, but you don't love yourself. If when you look in the mirror, you don't say, I love you.
Yeah.
I love the melanin in my skin, every kink in my hair, the width of my nose and the shape of my lips. I love that. I love how I look. I love because the Creator don't make mistakes.
That's right.
And you know, King, we've got to get back to that now. We have to understand that the future demands for our children.
Yes.
I'm talking to our children about this.
Of course.
You must love yourself. Young sister, when I was teaching, she was in the 3rd grade. She said, Brother Booker T, my nose is too big. And I said, well, honey, can you breathe? She said, I can breathe. I said, can you breathe with no problem? She said, I breathe with no problem. I said, well, your nose is just the right size.
That's the right size. That's the truth. Exactly.
That's the Creator's nose. He shaped your nose when you were in your mother's womb.
Exactly.
And he wanted your nose to look the way it looked.
Exactly.
He wanted your lips to be shaped the way they're shaped. He wanted your hair to, every kink in your hair, he wanted that to be there because that's your crown of glory.
Yes.
Your hair is your crown. It sits on your head. It protects you from invading organisms.
That's right.
Understand that. And don't get caught up in good hair, bad hair. Don't get caught up because, as Malcolm said, who taught you to hate yourself? You didn't learn that in Africa. Who taught you to hate yourself? And so for our children, Dr. Sebi becomes very important because it doesn't make a difference how great an educator you are. If you're ill, I don't make a difference how great a politician you are. If you're ill, don't make a difference what great economist you are. If you're ill.
Yes.
So wherever you are in the station of life, health is your wealth.
You know,
and cultural health promotes mental health.
Baba Kaba, let me just give that a round of applause because that was, Hallmark Hardish. If that's a word. Big up to Abundance Child in the chat. Big up to Lioness Crown in the chat. Big up to Keyshawn in the chat. My nephew-in-law, not my nephew, my son-in-law. Okay. Big up to my granddaughter, my 15th granddaughter, just celebrated her birthday on the 25th, and happy belated birthday to you too, sir. Of course, you and your wife had a birthday, so big up to both of y'all, man. And how did you enjoy your born day, sir?
Oh, brother, was wonderful.
Yes,
Was with
sir.
family, hung out, had a good time with the grandchildren, children.
Yes.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Big
good.
up, big up to Mystic Ivy. Also, I want to say big up to Omar and Kanisha. Jimmy Cliff's son. Happy, condolences to our brother Jimmy Cliff. I knew his son, some of his family, and I knew him. And that brother inspired me as a reggae artist when I was younger. So I'm so man, for him to pass on at this time, man, it just showed me a lot. So you ever got to meet Jimmy Cliff?
Yes, man. I was on my way. Shari and I, my wife and I, were on our way to Jamaica years
Uh,
ago,
okay. Let's get the
and he
story.
was sitting in the seat in front of us.
Get out of here.
And
Oh,
I'll never forget, he had a tie with musical notes on it,
yes.
and he had like a shawl.
Yes.
And he turned around, and I said, oh, there's the harder. And I said, oh man, I just said, man, I respect you, man. Thank you for all that you do. And and it didn't happen until the end,
Yes.
because I didn't see him when I got on the plane.
Yes.
Nor did Shari.
Right.
But we saw him when the plane landed
Right.
at Norman Manley
Yes.
Airport, and he stood up and turned around. And when I saw him, I said, "That's the man right there."
Yes. Yes. Big up to him.
And you know what's interesting, brother? And I do understand that sometimes people are given divine assignments.
Yes.
And I know that our brother Bob Marley was
Yes.
given a divine assignment to
Yes.
perform, and he
Did you
did
see?
it well.
Did you see the interview that they asked him? It was Bob Marley that brought him to the producer that started his career. I was
Yep.
watching that interview. I was like, wow. It was Jimmy Cliff who introduced Bob Marley to the producer that started Bob's career.
Uh,
That
you know,
wow. The
it's
creator got a master plan, right? Remember?
that is it. And sometimes you are the person that creates
Mm,
what it is, but it wasn't your divine assignment to be the person that did it.
yes. Yes.
And Jimmy Cliff was a very important person, not just in terms of reggae,
Yes.
not just in terms of poetry,
Yes.
but the message that he gave us
This is
across
the son.
all genres.
This is the son in the chat right now. Big up to Omar, man. Big up
Oh,
Omar.
okay, yeah.
Thank you, Omar. Thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. And I mean, your dad had an impact, because I'm foundational Black American. I'm from here.
Yes.
But my exposure to us as a people worldwide was very. I remember I was, when I saw your dad in the movie, when I saw Jimmy Cliff in the movie,
Right.
and I just watched and getting into his music and understanding the impact that he had
Yeah.
around the world.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes the system will make you think something. Like, for instance, many people would tell you that when Eric Clapton did I Shot the Sheriff,
Mm,
that's what made Bob Marley famous. Now, I think it assisted in certain areas,
right.
but those that were down with the knowledge and the wisdom and the music
Exactly.
knew Bob Marley long before that,
Long before.
you
Long
know.
before.
And also with Peter Tosh.
Yes. Great Peter Tosh. Yes.
I mean, these are just, they were more than just musicians. Music plays a very interesting role in the cosmos.
Yes.
And in my book, the newest book I have, Who Were the Moors Before the Moors, I have a segment on Moorish music
Mm,
and the role that a master chordophonist, which is music, string instruments.
right.
He had called the lute, L''OUD. Today is called lute, LUTE.
Mm-hmm.
and the role that that played in terms of healing,
Right.
and particularly your humors, which are
Mm-hmm.
your liquid systems, phlegm, and again, going back to Dr. Sebi, phlegm, mucus, blood, okay,
Mm-hmm.
plasma,
Right.
you know, your hormones.
Yes.
They would put the instrument over your body.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you had a clog in your blood system, they would play
Mm.
that cordophone over your body in a way that it would open up
Right.
your blood system. If you had a clog in your mucus system, they would play it so that the liquids of your mucus would be released. And you see what Dr. Sebi was saying about the mucus,
Right.
and also understanding the importance of, for everything that exists on a positive, there's also one that is not positive.
Right.
The mucus that accumulates, that gives you your disease, there is another mucus type of vegetable that you can eat that helps your mucus system, and that's the okra.
Right. That's right.
You know, okra is very good, and that's why okra is very slimy,
Mm-hmm.
and that's, a lot of people don't like it because of that. But that is what it blends with your liquid systems.
Yes.
See, this is what Dr. Sebi.
Right.
You know, one time Dr. Sebi was talking in a presentation,
Mm-hmm.
and he was talking about the role that the sun plays when the sun's light, heat, and sound energy comes down to the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that there was something that happened in the earth that brought a vibrancy and an energy. Like here in the Americas, indigenous people called it the Three Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Corn, corn is one of them, and bean is one, and what happens is that of these three vegetables, these three things that grow,
Mm-hmm.
the sun hitting down on the corn creates an energy when the corn is growing for the next crop to grow, which could very well be the next one, the next vegetable.
Right.
And then the sun comes down and beams on that vegetable, like the bean, and then that leads to the next third one. So this dynamic of sound, light, and heat energy from the sun down to the earth, he said it was photovoltaics.
Right. That's right. I remember that teaching.
And I said to him, I raised my hand, and I said, Dr. Sebi, how do you spell photovoltaics? He said, Booker T, how the hell do I know? You the teacher, you tell me.
Which you could easily spell it if you broke it down.
Yes. But
you
you see, that was Dr. Sebi.
Straight up. He stated to you straight up. And let's stop right there. Hold on, because the elders has a certain way on how they present themselves. One of our dear elders are going through it right now, Professor James Smalls, and how he presented himself. And because you wrote the book, the new book, and it's coming in the mail for me because I have all your books. This one I didn't get yet. Who were the Moors before the Moors? What? Because Moors is an older legal label. What is the problem between Moors and, you said early, FBA? Why can't people accept the Moorish paradigm connected to FBA also? From your perspective.
My brother King, into my family.
Yes.
One of the things in my research of our people, and I'm going back before Indo-Europeans were even on the scene.
Right.
I have never been able to see a place in history where an outside culture came in and defeated us as an African people. No place. They never had the mastery over us.
That's right.
What was happening was we were fighting amongst ourselves.
That part. There it is.
Okay, in the 6th dynasty of Kush Kemet, only black folk are here now.
Mm-hmm.
There's only black folk. And as you research the Nesebitiyu, or the pharaohs of the 6th dynasty, starting in the 5th dynasty, really also, but it moves into the 6th dynasty, and the old kingdom starts to get weak. What you see happening is that people who are in positions of power, who have become contaminated with power, begin to give more material wealth to themselves and take away from the masses of the people. You know, when the Panthers said all power to the people.
Right.
And what happened in the 6th dynasty is that the people overthrew the dynasty. When that happened, the Indo-Europeans came across into Kush Kemet, taking advantage of us fighting amongst ourselves.
Right.
I can take you to the Moors in 1492. Boabdil, the last great leader of Granada, was fighting with his family. I can take you to the Punic Wars. And I can show you Hannibal of Carthage or Carthage. The Carthaginians or the Carthagasians were fighting with a group of Africans in Morocco known as the Numidians. And because of that fight amongst black folk, the Romans came in and took advantage of that infighting. And the Numidians sided with the Romans, and that's what defeated the Carthaginians. I can take you to the civil rights movement. And I can show you how we were fighting amongst ourselves there. Now I can take you to hip hop.
Yes, sir.
I can take you to rap.
Yes, sir.
And I can show you how we're fighting amongst ourselves. They don't have the power over us. We don't realize how powerful we are. And that before we can even unite with each other, you got to unite with yourself. And the only way each and every one of us can unite with ourselves is first step. Dr. Sebi said it. You got to love yourself.
Right.
Because when you love yourself, you know how to love another brother or sister. You can't love someone else if you don't love yourself. You can have an emotion for them, but it ain't love. How you gonna love somebody else if you don't even know what self-love is? We fight amongst ourselves over superficial issues.
Right.
And so it becomes important that as we look at our history and understanding, I tell people, look, I don't care what you call yourself.
Exactly.
You can be black. You can be a Moor. You can be Hebrew Israelite. You can be Democrat, Republican. You can even call yourself a nigger. As long as you know when I'm talking about the greatness of the original people, I'm talking to you. You want me to call you a Moor? I'll call you a Moor. You want to be Hebrew? I'll call you Hebrew Israelite. If you are Muslim, Nation of Islam, I'll call you that. Assalamu alaikum. See, we have divided ourselves into different groups, and this is one of the reasons why I wrote my second book, Spirituality Before Religions.
That one, yes, sir.
Because I wanted us to understand something about all these little gangs that we've created. Be they religions, political parties,
right?
Whatever it is. You see, what I always try to get into, my brother King, and to the family, I try to get into etymology or the study of words.
Right.
And out of the study of words, you come to realize that more comes from, in Medunete, an M and an R. Three of the most powerful gifts that we have been given is knowledge. What separates human beings from all the other living things that exist on the planet, we have three gifts. We have knowledge, reasoning, and language. Okay, knowledge is our ability to accumulate information. Now, there are other animals that have that too, but in their own way. But after we accumulate knowledge and information, we then are able to reason it, which takes it to its highest level of consciousness. And then when we get to that level of consciousness, we then bequeath it to those that come behind us, our children or our community. And that is language, when we then transmit what we've reasoned, what we know. Those are the three gifts.
Yes, sir.
When you look at the what makes the word more, you don't have to worry about the vowels. In Medunete, it's really the consonants that you're concerned with.
That's right.
Okay, that's why in Kemet you see a KMT. Okay, you can put E anywhere you want.
Right.
In fact, Dr. Asa Hilliard said you could just put an E on everything. You don't need the A, I, O, and U.
Right, right.
So it's the M and an R. Now, in Medunete, what is the M and the R? M is represented by the symbol of an owl. And R is represented by the symbol of a mouth. What is an owl? You would study an owl is a nocturnal bird that operates at night. But what our ancestors saw in the owl, and you see, the owl is not the smartest bird, by the way. It's nowhere near the smartest bird, but there are characteristics of the owl that are important.
Right.
I have a segment in the book, Who Were the Moors Before the Moors, because I'm trying to get us to understand the sounds of words more than anything else. You know, just like your work in terms of numbers.
Yes.
See, people see numbers as math.
No.
And while math is one aspect of it, numbers is the universe. And when you understand numbers, you understand things that go beyond just what the numbers represent. The numbers are only a way for you to learn something larger about yourself. But that's your area. That's why I study your work.
Thank you, sir.
That's why with Brother Strayhorn.
Lloyd Strayhorn. Yes, sir. Yes,
Lloyd
sir.
Strayhorn, his work in numerology.
Yes.
But you see, sounds are very important. The first languages we spoke, we learned through nature, which is the click language of the Twa and Mbuti Khoisan people of Central and Southern Africa. That was the first language ever spoken. And that's why you hear a lot of consonantal sounds, consonants, like, you know, if you want to hear a song that you'll get a sense, listen to Pata Pata by Miriam Makeba.
Miriam Makeba, I love that song.
Okay. In fact, she has another song called the Click Song.
Yes.
Where you'll hear the clicks. Okay. I can connect the clicks. In my research now, I can collect the clicks to the beats in rap music.
Yes.
And it's important. I can connect the click to the piano playing of Beethoven. Another brother. I can connect the click language to Oscar Peterson or Thelonious Monk. I can connect the sounds. But to go back to the word more, the owl has two characteristics that to our ancestors were very important, and they represented something very important. For one thing, an owl can turn its head all the way around. Yeah,
I seen that one time. I was like, whoa.
Okay. Which means, Brother King, from a philosophical perspective, it means that a knowledgeable person can see all angles of things.
Right.
Not just straight on, not just peripheral, not just back, but you can see it 359.9 degrees. To them, that seemed like it was very important as it relates to knowledge. At the same time, the other characteristic that the owl has is that the owl can see in the dark. In other words, they could see wisdom in ignorance. They could create light in the darkness by seeing things.
Right.
So the owl represented knowledge and reasoning. And the R represents the mouth, which is language that can then transmit what you analyzed that you know. And so my looking at the word more
Yes.
becomes a sound.
Mm.
I led a tour to Kush Kemet, Egypt, in June of 2024.
Mm.
Started a lot of stuff there too, but that's a whole
Yes,
side
yes,
story.
yes, you did.
That was quite.
People calling me.
Oh, hey man, that was revelatory, brother. That for me was quite an experience, man.
But hold on, before you go on, Professor, with that, stick a pin right there. Family, please. His website has his books. His YouTube, I mean his Amazon also. I put the Amazon link in the chat. I pinned all his link to the top. He's on Facebook and on Instagram. Please follow him. Yeah, I didn't get a Cash App from you. Do you have a Cash App? What's your Cash App, sir?
Yes, brother. It's $ Kaba Kamene 7, number
Okay,
7.
I'll put it right there.
KABAKAMENE 7.
I got that. Family, I do not tolerate any trolls. Nobody gonna come on here and call Professor Smalls a backstabber. None of that. Please don't do that. I love that brother just like I love this brother. I'm not gonna let you disrespect the elders like it's that easy. Not somebody who's been putting in the work more than I was. He's 80 years old. He's seen COINTEL from back in the day. He knows what it is. And again, he did not call Tariq Nasheed a CIA op. He did not say that. So please do not come up here with that bull crap. I will delete you or put you on hold or put you somewhere. But trolls can take a stroll somewhere else. And I'll have him on so he could answer all questions December the 3rd here on my channel. And also at Nicholas, if you want to come, if you're bold enough to come face to face with this black belt in martial arts, come to it. Me too. Come. We there. We're gonna be at Nicholas, Brooklyn on the 13th also. So please do not come and troll on my channel, please. I don't tolerate that foolishness with none of the elders because I respect my elders because I was raised and not dragged up. I don't take things out of context. I go and call them on the phone before I go on the line and talk to anybody. I call people like men supposed to do. That's what Tariq and Mr. Smalls should have done. Called each other. That's what should have happened. Men does that. All right, go ahead, sir. I'm sorry. Pardon me.
I wanted to tell the group, when I went on the tour, we went to the Grand Lodge of Luxor, or what's called the Ipet at Waset in Middle Egypt.
Yes, sir.
This temple has an area that is where the brain is located. First of all, they built this temple in the direct proportions of a human body, even though it's a huge, multiple block area. They have an area that is a sacred area that is located in our brain just behind the olfactory bulb, which is right by where our smell is.
Yes, sir.
The area that is behind it, they call it the Shittite infant in that language, but it means the sacred sanctuary. In this sacred sanctuary, it is where all of your 6 senses, and I say 6 because thinking is also a sense.
Right.
See, they tell you 5 because they don't want you to realize that thinking is a sense.
That's right.
Sight, sound, smell, touch. Okay, those are all senses.
Right.
Those are the 5 they give us. Your eyes, your ears, your nose, your taste, which is your tongue, and your touch, which is your skin.
Exactly.
But thinking is also a sense. Right behind where that sacred sanctuary is, it is an area where all of your 6 senses meet. Right there. And the owl represents the sound. It's the letter M.
Yes.
If you look at the owl that they drew, you can see the actual script of the letter M.
Yes, sir.
In the head, in the face, in the legs, you can see where the script letter M came from.
Yes, sir.
Because that's where the alphabet came from. That's where the Greeks got the alphabet from, was from Medu Neter, or what's called hieroglyphics.
That's right.
Now, in this area back behind your olfactory bulb,
Mm-hmm.
The sound M,
Mm-hmm.
that sound is the first sound a human makes when they come from mother's womb and they are put on mother's breast to suckle at mother's breast. It's the first passion.
Right.
That's why folk are so drawn to women's breasts,
Mm.
including women.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Breasts are not an erogenous zone.
Mm.
They are a passionate zone because eating is a passion. And it is the first passion we have
Mm.
when we come from mother's womb to suckle at mother's breast. And the sound we make when we suckle at mother's breast, our mouth has to be totally closed in order to bring in the milk. And that sound is Now, when you make that sound, there's a part of your brain that tickles. You can feel it. When I'm with children, I normally tell them, to make that sound. M is the only sound where your mouth has to be totally closed.
Mm-hmm.
Every
Like,
A, B, C, D, S, Z, T,
yeah.
your mouth is open. When you
Mm.
say M, your mouth must be closed. And when you make that sound, you tickle that part of your brain. That's your sacred sanctuary. And that area actually sits in a pool of cerebral spinal crystic waters that is 13 times the amount of melanin than any other part of your body. And most of the things we experience as it relates to our memories, we make that sound. When you get a good idea, what do you say?
Mm. Mm.
When you eat something that tastes good, what do you say?
Mm.
When someone says something that don't make no sense to you, you say,
That's true.
So let's go back to the letter. Let's go back to the sound of the word more. More.
More.
In order to make that sound, you are initiating and igniting your sacred sanctuary that brings you down to consciousness that then allows you to present to the children and to your community your wisdom, which is the letter R. So when I look at sounds, when I look at the word, even when you look at the word Inger, I have things up on that I talk about the origins. There's a brother named Pianki that did a whole piece on the origins of the N-word. Okay, and so it's important that language is sounds.
Yes.
And this is why when we be talking to people, black folk talk to people, you can see that we're all up in it.
Exactly.
Because it's a vibration. And vibrations create frequencies that are cosmic in nature.
Yes.
So when we're having a good conversation, we're going back and forth with each other and we're enjoying it, what's one of the first things that we say? I feel you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can't feel someone unless your spirit has connected to theirs.
Exactly.
You don't feel with your eyes necessarily, although your eyes help you feel.
Right.
Your senses help you feel. So the word more comes from the concept of the three gifts that we have. And that is a universal term that came to light during the medieval period.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, we were Ethiopians. And that's an African. And again, in the book, I go through the history of the word, because a lot of us say that Ethiopia comes from a Greek word, Ethiops, which means burnt faces. No, that's not where the word came from. The Greeks got it from Africans and then used that sound in order to describe the people they were looking at who had burnt faces.
Okay.
Brother King, and to the family, we have to understand why they treat us this way.
Yeah.
They don't hate you. They fear you. You have to understand. And this is what Dr. Frances Cress Welsing meant when she talked about genetic annihilation.
Right.
Right now, they're already saying. Now, I have other things to say about it. I have a 4-part series on the origins and development of the Caucasoid.
Wow.
To help us understand where they came from.
Exactly.
And the idea is that they realize, and there's a book, and again, in my book, Carbon Before Melanin, I have a section on it where you can read their accounts of what's happening. There's a book called Saving Your Skin by Barney Kennett and Patricia Lawler that is telling you something. There's a book that's written, and it's called Birth Dearth. Okay. There's another book written by Pat Buchanan, the Republican that ran for president. It's called Death of the West. It was the Honorable Louis Farrakhan that advised one of the Savior's Days years ago. I think it was like 2005. He recommended every black person need to read this book by Patrick Buchanan, Death of the West. We have to understand what's going on.
Right.
And not get emotional with how they treat us. We have to understand they fear us. They know who we are.
Right.
They don't know totally because they have no grasp of that type of greatness.
Kaba, you say this, but they might not have. Some of us don't even realize our own greatness to the point that are we ever going to stop fighting amongst each other?
Eventually, yes, because we'll kill each other off.
Okay.
That'll stop it.
That was real.
But I have a feeling that 3 out of 100 of us are going to learn. And I think that what we're doing right now is part of, as we speak, we're getting better. I tell black folk all the time, when you wake up in the morning, you're winning. Right there. Once you wake up, you're winning. See, Indo-Europe, and when I say Indo-Europeans, I go by what Dr. Sheikh Anta Diop taught us about the northern and the southern cradle of humanity. That Africans moving into the northern climate, being exposed to the ice age, came into certain understandings. And so the idea is that when those that went up came back down, they were exposed to an ice age that was very ferocious. And just like as Africans, we created our sense of the creator by our environment, which was a loving environment. We ate well, we lived well, we shared. That ushered in a new type of human being. Because when we were on the animalistic level, it would only be about us. What I got was mine. But when you, brother, grew a certain fruit and I grew a certain fruit, and in our early animalistic mindset, you only ate what you had, and I only ate what I had. But just to make up a story, just to say you grew oranges and I grew melons. All I ate was melons and all you ate was oranges. And then one day I said to you, but listen, what you eat look interesting. I'm just dramatizing this. And you said, I've been seeing you eating them melons too. That look interesting. I said, well, how about if I give you some of my melons and you give me some of your oranges?
Barter system, right.
Okay. That was the first economic. Trade. See, economics doesn't mean money. Echo comes from the word environment or home. Nomics is to know. Economics is to know your environment. The wealth is in your land. The wealth is in your environment. And how you use it determines your stature in life. So sharing became very important to the human family, being able to progress into who we became. But when you up in the ice, you ain't thinking about sharing. You're thinking about stealing. Because your environment, you may not have. They have a proverb that came out of the ice age. It said, if you watch your best friend chasing a pig, don't compete for the pig with your friend. Let your friend catch it and then eat the pig and your friend.
Where's that proverb from?
That is a proverb that came out of, one of the things I did in my 4-part series is that I highlighted stories that came out of Southern Europe.
Where can they find that? Somebody just asked about the origin of the Caucasian. Is that on your website?
It's a 4-part series. It's on my website.
Okay.
I did each one individually, and then I put it in a bundle for the community to be able to get 4 for the price of 1.
His website is kabakamene.com.
That is it. And it'll take you to Gumroads.
It'll take you to
and
Gumroad,
you'll get
yeah.
a free e-course and study guide.
Right.
But you'll also have access to a lot of my streams.
Right. I pinned it to the top of the chat. If you really want to get it, hit all of his links up into the top of the chat. So I'm going to do it again just in case, so y'all know.
There's a brother named Paul Lawrence Guthrie,
Mm-hmm.
and he wrote a book, The Making of the White Man.
I remember I had that book. Yes.
Okay. And he was attempting to validify
Honorable Elijah Muhammad's teaching.
the Honorable Elijah Muhammad's philosophy.
That's right.
And in that book, that's where he cites a lot of different books that are written by Southern Europeans.
Yep. That's right.
And you see, the other thing about melanin is to understand it's not melanin in the skin. Your skin is the largest organ.
Mm-hmm.
It's also a gland.
Right.
Your skin and your brain are the 2 parts of your body that do the same thing. They're the only ones that have a dual function. Glands secrete liquids, organs do work.
Mm-hmm.
So the organs in your body do work and the glands secrete liquids. But your skin is an organ and it does work.
Right.
It protects you. It does a number of different things as a job, but it also secretes liquids. Sweat glands, your sebaceous, your acrine gland. Okay, they also secrete. So it's not only your skin is not only an organ, but it's a gland. Your brain also is an organ. It does work. It thinks. It functions, but it also secretes liquids.
Right.
Okay, melatonin, serotonin, cerebrospinal fluid, all of those things. So your skin and your brain are very much alike, but the skin being the largest organ, it's important. And again, this goes back to us fighting.
Yes.
Where there are Africans with less melanin than others.
Mm-hmm.
And there are brothers that have melanin. And what happened is that the Indo-European used the complexion, used the melanin content in the skin to divide and conquer us. They even did it amongst themselves. Some of the most disrespected Europeans are Sicilians.
Mm.
And that's because they definitely are melanated. And they got kinky hair too.
Mm.
So that the fighting that we go through comes out of a misunderstanding of what melanin is. Melanin is in your eyes. Without it, you couldn't see. It's in your ears. Without it, you couldn't hear. It's in your heart. You wouldn't beat. Circulatory system, blood wouldn't circulate. Respiratory, you wouldn't breathe. See, this is what Dr. Sebi, going back to Dr. Sebi and carbon, and the importance of carbon, to understand what happens with carbon. It is the glue that brings everything together. It helps you breathe. It helps your heart beat. It helps your brain think. It helps your eyes see. It helps your tongue taste. It helps your nose smell. Without it, you wouldn't have any of those concepts. Melanin is the mothership. Malachi Andrews, another brother that was into melanin, he was an Olympian too. He talked about the mothership that runs things. Carbon runs things. When you're in the heavens and you're in the darkness, dark energy pushes in on dark matter. It pushes it in and it pushes it in. This is Dr. Richard King's work. Pushes it in. And when there's no more space in that blackness, in that black seed, it implodes. And that's the birth of stars. Stars are crystallized blackness. When you get down into the earth, you have fossil fuels, living things that are put under a lot of pressure. And the more pressure it's put under, becomes a diamond. There's a saying that I heard, what don't kill you make you stronger.
Mm.
We as a black people have been put under that pressure that creates stars, the pressure that creates diamonds. That's why we are diamonds in the rough. And so I often tell us, don't complain about what you go through, because it's not what you go through that's important. It's how you handle what you go through that's important. Dr. King told us, your character is not built during times of comfort and convenience. Your character is built during times of controversy and conflict. Anybody can do the right thing when it's easy, but only a special person can do the right thing when it's hard.
Mm.
And so instead of cursing the winds that brought misfortune, bless them, because how you handle what was blown to you is going to determine your character.
Right.
And black folk worldwide have character. Not only do we have character, but we have flavor. We also know how to balance the difference between forgive and forget. You see, my thing is, I don't forgive transgressors because I forgive them. When I forgive someone who transgressed against me, I forgive them in order for me to keep going.
Right.
Because if I carry that pain or that anger in my heart, there's an African proverb that says a bitter heart devours its owner. It's like taking poison, hoping the person that you want to die dies. You drank the poison. And that's what we have successfully been able to go through all of these generations. That we have been here, and just when we have been transgressed against Indo-Europeans. We are a phenomenal people, man. And the more I study our history, the more I realize how powerful we are. And if I was them, I'd be scared shit too. Let's just break it down.
That's right.
I'd be scared because I would wonder, what is it within them that allows them to still know how to smile? Still knows how to love, still knows how to come together, still knows how to get a program online between King Simon and Brother Kaba to talk to the community whom they love and respect and honor. What is it in them that allows that to happen? That's a cosmic love. That's an enduring love that we have.
Brother Kaba, and family that's just tuning in, please like, subscribe, and share. Build the algorithms. Also support our brother Kaba at Facebook, IG is Kaba Kamene. His website is kabakamene.com. Cash App $ Kaba Kamene 7, and Kaba Kamene at Amazon. Get all of his books. All of his books are up there. Every book that he has. The latest one is up there, of course. Who We Were Before the Moors. Let me say it properly. Let me be real. Who were the Moors before the Moors? You know what I'm saying? That's very important. And I know you're going to get, people going to come at everybody. This generation now that we love so dearly, the younger ones, they're a little bit more emotional than we were, and that y'all were back in the day. Because even in your conversations, even if Dr. John Henry Clark and Dr. Ben had a disagreement, you wouldn't see it on the stage. They respectfully knew how to talk it out and deal with each other. Unlike today, because of social media and, everybody's calling out and shouting out and calling this one this and calling this one. From your wisdom, Brother Kaba, how do we navigate and mitigate through what could be what they call ops? Because the Black Panthers, you know who infiltrated them, you know who infiltrated Malcolm, you know there's been infiltrators in the Nation of Islam and all of that. How do we navigate through all of this and be able to distinguish who are? Some people are not even paid to be operators, ops in this community, but they're doing it because of their emotions. Sometimes they don't know enough, they haven't cross-referenced, they haven't done the studies. How do we navigate those who are pure in heart with this information? And we want to see, you know, our foundational brothers and sisters get what they get. Want to see the Caribbean brothers get what they want get. We want to see everybody get what they have to get from those individual Europeans that did what they did. How do we navigate through the people that want to cause disinformation and cause arguments between each other? How do we navigate?
Brother King, I think it's knowledge and wisdom.
Right.
And it's presenting it to the community in a scientific manner. Now, science comes from the word scient, which means knowledge.
Right.
You know, I mean, we think of science as psychology, oceanography, chemistry, and physics. You know, those are subject areas. But science is all knowledge. Okay, it's communication arts, it's physical science, and it's social science. So it's all knowledge. And it's looking at a situation. For instance, my father is from Alabama.
Right.
My mother is from Boston, Massachusetts. I am a foundational Black American. There's a reason why we have to say that, because it is legacy.
Right.
It is lineage. It is not anti anybody else.
That's right.
It's not.
No, I know that. I already
as
know.
long as I've been around, you know, you know, it's important for us to be able to express what we're saying and to do it in a way that it makes sense.
That's right.
It's about legacy. The question is, do you have ancestors that worked on the plantations of the 13 colonies? That's what determines. Because Elon Musk is from South Africa.
Right.
He's an American citizen.
Right.
By law, he's considered an African American.
That's right.
The mayor-elect of New York City,
Yeah.
future Mayor Mamdani, he is from Uganda.
Yes.
He's an American citizen. He is an American, he is considered by law an African American.
Right.
The great journalist, Ali Velshi, he was born in Kenya. He's an American citizen. He is considered by law an African American. I had a student in college whose parents traveled through Africa. She was born in Africa. She was a student of mine in college.
Right.
She got a scholarship as an African American.
That's right.
The term African American doesn't mean in 2025 what it meant in 1965. When the civil rights and the Black Power movement changed the laws and civil rights came into existence, the next year the immigration laws broke down by nature of the civil rights laws breaking down. And so with that immigration law changing, it brought in people from Asia. All around the world, they came here. And if you became an American citizen, then you were considered, for instance, if you're from Ghana or Nigeria, Barack Obama's father. Barack Obama's father was brought to America by a contingent of at that time, Negro Americans. Let's use that word, Negro Americans, because that's what they were. That's what we were called, Negro Americans, to bring Africans to America. That is how Barack Obama met his wife, who gave birth to the man who would become the president of the United States. He is considered African American. He has no lineage that worked on the plantations. And so what those who have lineage, particularly when reparations comes up, for those that have lineage on the plantations, there has to be a way in which our lineage is spoken about as it relates to reparations coming from America. You from Jamaica, Britain owe you money.
That's right.
If you're from Haiti, France. If you're from Mali, France. If you're from Burkina Faso, France owes you money. If you are from Brazil, Portugal owes you money. If you're from Puerto Rico, Cuba, República Dominicana, Spain owes you money. It's a lineage.
Now, Kaba, hold on one second. Aren't the European Americans from Britain and those places over there too?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make
sure. And see, then they have the cross references. You have Britain, you have Holland, a lot of folk who are Dutch.
That's right.
Because when the Dutch West India Company was coming to America, the Dutch East India Company went to South Africa. They're the Boers. Back in the day, New York was Dutch. Okay?
Right.
And in South America, there was a country, Guyana, that was British.
Yes. Right.
The Dutch and the British made a deal.
But to split it up, yes, that's right.
The Dutch got Guyana.
Exactly.
And the British got New Amsterdam.
Exactly.
They changed the name in honor of the Duke of York. And what was once New Amsterdam becomes New York. And what was once British Guyana becomes Dutch Guyana.
Right.
It's science, it's knowledge, it's wisdom, it's understanding this, it's knowing this. And it's important for folk to understand immigrants did not build America. The Africans built America. The indigenous people, their land was stolen from them. So let's say that somebody goes to somebody and they steal your house. And then they bring people from another place into your house to build it.
Right.
And then let's say after that happens, they bring other groups in and they furnish it. Immigrants furnished America. They didn't build it. America was built by the Africans of the 13 colonies. The economy was built like that. And you see, my brother King, there are some brothers and sisters that come and they express disrespect.
That's true.
To foundational Black Americans.
That's true. I've seen it happen.
And out of that comes a flip back. You see, but those that come with disrespect, they don't really disrespect the foundational Black Americans. They disrespect themselves for doing that.
That's right.
Because when I went to Jamaica, brother, first place I wanted to go.
That's right.
Was Trenchtown.
Yeah, of course, where Bob Marley came from. Right.
When I heard Trenchtown Rock.
Yeah.
1981.
Yeah.
Shari and I got married. We went home to visit her family. I want to go to Trenchtown. I paid respect to all the elders.
That's right.
When I went to Holland, I paid respect to all the elders in Holland. We sat and we talked. When I went to UK, first London, then Birmingham, I paid respect to the elders. I paid respect to the people because I realized that it was their struggle, their pain, their blood, sweat, and tears that built the African presence in those places. And I expressed that respect. And I believe that people that come to America should come with that type of respect and not allow the Indo-Europeans who have spoken to them and attempted to get them to stay away from us. Because, a lot of people say, don't go to Trenchtown. That's bad man land.
That's true.
They told me that. Just like they tell Black folk, don't go to Harlem.
They told me that when I'm born here. They told me not to go to Trenchtown when I was
okay. Okay. That's the first place I wanted to go. Trenchtown Rock.
Yeah.
Kingston 20. Oh, man, I wanted to go there. And when I went there, you know what I found out? Which was interesting. Because I grew up in a project, Amsterdam Project, 63rd Street.
In the Bronx, right.
In Manhattan.
Manhattan,
right by Lincoln Center.
Like Lincoln, yeah, Lincoln Center area. Yeah.
Okay.
I went to Martin Luther King High School.
Oh yeah. Oh man, you were right next to Performing Arts.
Yeah, right there.
Okay. You know where you went to school? There used to be a Con Edison plant there.
Yeah, yes, that's right. And yep.
Because I grew up there.
That's
Right.
right.
I used to see Thelonious Monk come through the projects.
Wow.
And Thelonious Monk used to walk down 63rd Street. I lived on 217 West 63rd Street, which was, when you went down 63rd Street, you went straight down to a circle. Okay. And Thelonious Monk, and man, he would go over to Century Bar on the corner of 64th Street, man. He straight no chaser. That's where the song came from. My father was in the bar with him. All the men of the projects were in the bar. Thelonious Monk used to come in.
Right.
Other things helped him get to where he needed to get, but he used to do straight no chaser. He would come in, he would turn around, he walked down 63rd Street, and I remember the Persian hat that he used to wear. And right down at the end of that block, there's a circle, and there's a lamppost. And he used to turn his ring around, and he would bang on the lamppost. The metal
lamppost, right?
And he the same thing he did on the piano, and the way he make those sounds, he used to make those sounds, and then he would nod out, and he would slide down the pole. And for us young brothers, seeing this huge melanated man with this deep red tongue, Persian hat, Persian coat, coming down, swaying. My father used to tell us, "Let me tell you something, boy. You don't know who that man is right there." He said, "That man can walk amongst us. Nobody know who he is. But when he go to Europe, security has to meet his plane to take him where he has to go."
Wow.
So this was, my growing up and my understanding of who we were as a people and what we did to develop who it is that we are, And so that's where I grew up.
Right.
And I know a lot of people want to tell you the rough times that people had, but I want to tell you about the good times, because I knew good, productive Black folk that worked hard to get where they got. They worked in the post office. After World War II, the federal jobs is what a lot of Black folk got into. Post office. My father was in the post office. That's how he got his job. And he got it because he was in World War II. And school system was another place that a lot of Black folk went into. And my thing is that Black folk here in the United States has made it possible for not just Black folk, but for people of European descent too. Because in 1870, immigration started 1870. And the reason why immigration started in 1870 in the United States was because in 1865, when the laws somewhat broke down, Emancipation Proclamation, whatever we want to say that was, Black folks started going to school. And by 1870, 14% of previously enslaved Africans were literate, going to college, speaking Latin and Greek on HBCU campus better than people who spoke Latin and Greek. By the year 1900, 41% of previously enslaved Africans or children of those previously enslaved Africans were literate. You know what's wrong with that? That number is larger than it is today. That number, 41% of us, is larger than the rate of our literacy in those schools that are miseducating our children. And that's why we have to teach our own. We have got to do this. I don't blame them. They're doing what they're supposed to do. If I knew about us what they know about us, I would ban your books. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Because they knew that King Simon and Brother Kaba was on the horizon. And so they started bringing Europeans into America in 1870. Not in the 1900s where, you have, Emma Lazarus, give me your poor, you're hungry, you're sick, those that are yearning to be free. No, that didn't start in the 1900s. That started in 1870 because black folk were excelling to levels that scared the European population in America, particularly the plantation owners, knowing that we would be able to not only never go back into enslavement, but we would own those plantations. And that's another story that hasn't been told. A lot of black folk bought the plantations they used to work on.
Right.
And so the idea of what's happening to us right now is they are purposefully separating us and making us fight.
Right.
And we are reacting to that.
And that's
we're saying, no, respect.
That's right. That's the problem.
We did this.
Right.
And we want us all to be able to live together, work together. But there has to be a level of respect to understand how this happened. The job you have is because we put our stuff on the line. For that, we put our lives on the line.
Now, but before you move on, we lost the great Assata Shakur. And of course, we just lost, of course, H. Rap Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Brother Jamil. But I want to stay with Assata because according to studies, she wanted to go to Africa first to leave America because of what was going on with her life after they tried to set her up. But she went to Cuba and stayed there for the rest of her life. So to me, she was a prime example of alliances and why we all need alliances, because in America, beautiful America, that my family came in the late 40s to 50s, be nurses and all that stuff here, paramedics and all of that from Jamaica and Cuba. We don't own the guns. We don't own the bullets. We don't own the bombs here in America. We don't own the water system. We don't have the food system. Alliances is important, and that's why she's a prime example to me why the Foundation Black American Brothers and Sisters got to be very, very careful of who they're calling tethers and all that kind of stuff, because not everybody is disrespecting America. Some people came here and did some legitimate work. My grandmother, my mother, my father, everybody that was here since the 40s, and it came here and did legitimate work to help birth children, midwives, all of that. They taught these classes and all that kind of stuff. But alliances is very key. And I know we got coons in Jamaica, we got coons throughout the Caribbean, we got coons in Africa, we got coons here in America. We got them here. How are we going to distinguish? Because sometimes the bots or the one that come, I could call them ops, the ones that come in and just call everybody a tether instead of realizing the background of that person that came from the Caribbean, did their thing, did respectful thing. They wasn't criminals. They wasn't in jail. They didn't cause problems. How can we find that ground right there to during the delineation process? I want to be respectful to the delineation process. I understand, but not everybody was bad people that came over here, because just like the people from the South escaped from down south to come up to the north, we was way down south in Jamaica. We escaped to come up to the north too, because we understood, and it was a big promotion of it in the Caribbean, in Africa. They're promoting it over there that they should come over here. They've been promoting it for years through the Antilles radio and all that kind of stuff. How, Kaba, because you are such a big component of it, and I respect it 1,000%. I believe everybody should get what they're supposed to get from every European that ever did anything to us, from Spain to Portugal, wherever they came from. How can we calm it down to know who's been respectful to those who probably been started cooning and doing their crazy? How can we distinguish that, so to speak?
Well, step one is us right now.
Right.
You and I.
UNITY, a unity.
Okay, you inviting me on your program.
Of course. I didn't invite anybody on my program, tell you the truth.
That's it.
Respect.
And so the first step, And it is also for those who might be starting issues,
Yeah.
need to be called out by their people to let them know. Because I have seen a lot of people have contacted me from various parts of the Caribbean, from Africa, from Europe, and say, we know
Exactly
the history of the African in the 13 colonies. And we know what you've achieved.
Of course.
And we thank you. That's all need to be said. Nobody need to apologize for those who are transgressing this problem or exacerbating this problem.
Right.
And what each and every one of us as an African people have to understand, number one, first off, is the fact that I have lineage of the original human beings in America. And when I say that, I'm talking about the ones that David Imhotep is talking about.
Right, from his book, right.
You know, I have family from Brazil who belong to the Pirana, Piranha people in the Amazon basin. And her lineage, Mandruka, goes back centuries before the Portuguese even existed. There are Africans here in America and the Caribbean whose ancestry goes back millennia. And that's very important to understand. This is what Dr. David Imhotep was saying. This is what so many brothers and sisters here in the United States talk about as it relates to the African presence in America.
Right. Big up to Mr. G. He just shouted you out, sir, Mr. G.
Oh, my brother, Mr. G.
Big up to Mr. G. Just shouting him out.
Big up to my brother. Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes,
no
sir.
doubt.
Yeah, because this whole Western Hemisphere, I know that ancient times, the major America was trading with a lot of the Caribbean before the Europeans came.
Yeah, and traded, but they were trading with their own people.
Exactly. The Tainos and the original indigenous Arawaks and
the Caribs.
Yeah.
You know, when you get to Honduras,
yes.
the Carifuna, and Mr. G told me about another group of Africans.
Yes.
That were indigenous. These were fierce warriors, so much so that the Europeans named the area after them, the Caribs. And that word comes from Ka-Ra-Ba. Ka, spirit, Ra, light, heat, energy, and Ba, soul. So there are interconnections, but you see, I think to go back to your question, which I think is important.
Right.
It's very important.
Yes, sir.
Knowledge.
That's right.
Know who you are. Know who you are. Because if you love yourself, you are not intimidated by somebody else. There's a chance that if somebody is on your nerve, you'll walk away.
Right.
If somebody says something that is disrespectful, you'll be able to walk away. Right. Knowledge of self and know who you are. Understand what you've achieved.
That's right.
And it's important that all of us as Black folks say, no more.
That's right.
We must come together. But first step, going back to Dr. Sebi, is self-love. Right. When you love yourself, everything about yourself, even if there are things you want to correct in yourself, you don't correct them because I hate how I look or what it is. You do it because you love how you look and you know you could do better.
And you know, Kaba, shame on the politicians that probably was first generation or second generation from their families in the Caribbean and all that when they got in positions, they just kept foundational Black Americans down. Shame on them. I'm very, that's why when I talk to Sister Keisha and Brother Tad, and I watch them, I understand. And I want to see them. I want to see what happens in the next 10, 20, 30 years if I'm still here on this planet. Because we've all been fooled to hate each other in some form or fashion. All been fooled to call this person. Back in the day, used to call me Caribbean boatman or African booty scratch and all that. And I had to take it, laugh it, and joke with people. But at a young age, it used to be hurtful. To the point one time I thought about taking my life because my friends didn't like me. Then you had colorism in Jamaica and all kinds of light skin, dark skin. I had all that going through. So I almost took my life at 8, remembering those type of those memories. So I feel for those people that you know, that get it, that want to step up and push their nation to another level, but yet again, politicians in Jamaica does it, politicians in Trinidad does it, politicians in America does it. You get a certain position, and all of a sudden you can't support the indigenous people here. That don't make no sense. You want it all for yourself. It don't make no sense. That's why I never got into politics. I never liked politics. Politics, those things I don't like. Never liked them. I've always been rebellious. I didn't join no military. I never went into no military to nobody, to fight for anybody. So again, like I said in the earlier question, they got to know who has been respectful to this land, respectful to this place ever since, you know. And but I thank you for being who you are. I thank Professor Smalls for being who he is, because I learned from y'all from the 80s. I've been watching y'all since, you know, like I said, Slave Theater and all the other places we used to go to, you know, to follow automatics and get around and do what we got.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maddox.
Absolutely. And you know the other thing also, brother, if you remember,
yes,
I send my regards and love to our brother Tariq Nasheed.
Exactly. Please.
Tariq Nasheed changed our conditions with the Hidden Colors series.
Hidden Colors series, exactly.
Remember when we be at the movie house downtown?
Yeah, we were there together. Yeah, that's right.
We were there together.
That's right, we were.
You took some time out to let folk know where you were going. You'd hand out your promotional flyers, all the things that you were doing. There was another brother, Shemsu, I believe, that was talking about the economics.
Yes, that's right.
At the movie house. And he would give out flyers.
And he was giving out flyers, that's right.
So the Hidden Colors series changed I can tell you that I filmed Hidden Colors in December of 2010. It was premiered in April of 2011.
Yes.
The day it was premiered, Brother Mfudishi and I were doing a presentation right where you're going to have your presentation in Brooklyn.
That's right.
And it was Brother Shabazz that brought us.
Yeah, Brother Shabazz, right.
And I had to leave early.
Right.
So Mfudishi allowed me to go first. I had packed my stuff, get out, because that same day, Hidden Colors 1 was premiering.
That's right. That's the original one, right? First one.
Okay, Hidden Colors 1.
That's right.
And I remember that got to the movie house. It was on 12th Street.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Right.
And there was 2 showings.
Yep.
One at 7, one at 9:30.
Right. Exactly.
And I remember I was late because I was coming from Brooklyn.
Yes, you were. That's right.
And I got in, but when I got into the movie house, the one thing that took me back more than anything was there was standing room only.
That's right. I stood up. I did security. I just watched things and kept myself focused. Yeah.
And not only that, but I had never seen my head so big on the screen. You know, I had just, because I did a lot of different documentaries.
Yes, you have. That's right.
But none was like Hidden Colors. Hidden Colors was different.
Yes.
And it brought a intensity, and it was crowded. And in the movie house, you remember the movie house is that there was a very small entrance in and exit out.
Oh, yes.
And so when I was standing in the back, because I was late, there was no more seats.
I was right there with you. Yeah.
That's right. I remember.
That's right.
And I remember when the movie ended, there were people that recognized me from the movie, but it was getting too crowded in the back. So I said, man, let me step out of here because we'll bottleneck here and nobody will get out. So I went outside. But when I went outside, my peripheral vision looked to the right. And when I looked to the right, Brother King, there was a line around the corner for the second show. One, that study guide that's up on my website. So many young people see, because what Tariq had done is he had put it on World Star Hip Hop, and I was the icon for it, for the Hidden Colors piece on World Star.
That's right.
And I remember that there was a lot of young people there because they saw it on World Star. So they said, "Oh, Hidden Colors, maybe it might be Little Kim, Lil
Right, right.
Wayne, might be a little rap, because the title is so generic, you don't know what's there. Hidden
Exactly,
Colors."
exactly.
And when they came out, they were asking me. They say, I thought this was going to be something else. But they said, now you open me up.
Yeah.
Can you give me some books I can read?
Introduce you to a whole new generation, sir.
That's what it was, man. And I said to myself, and I answered them. I gave them, and they took it down, took pictures, and see, that had never happened to me before, Brother King.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, it was.
You said, I go back to a slave theater.
Slave theater, all of it, man. All
Attorney Maddox.
in the Hall of
I go back to the National Black.
The little study groups, the little places you had to speak in front of a few people.
Alliance.
Nobody was there sometimes, just a few
right.
people. So
Hidden Colors made consciousness
really
hip.
Yes, again, yes, sir.
It brought it into another view of the world. And I started my presentations in 1986. Right. Renoko Rashidi and attorney LeGrand Clegg brought me out to Compton College to do something on my first book, William Leo Hansberry.
That's right.
And so from 1986 up until about 2011, knowledge and wisdom was good to have. There was a select group of people that would come. They would do what they would do, and it was all good.
Right.
But after Hidden Colors, people started wanting your autograph.
That's right.
People want to start to take pictures with you.
That's right.
There were some people going through the process that wanted to take, but nowhere near what this new generation did.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And then they called me for Hidden Colors too.
All of them, sir.
This was the one on melanin.
Right. You did all of them.
Yeah. And this one that's coming out now.
Mm-hmm.
And, I said to myself, wow, okay, Tariq did something on number one, but, sometimes when you do a number two, it doesn't hit number one.
It hit.
Sometimes they might hit, but sometimes they don't. And I said, man, what is this brother going to do in Hidden Colors too? It's another major hit.
That's right.
And so the point that I'm making is I love our people very much.
That's right.
And we have to brave the fires of controversy and conflict.
That's right.
In order to bring us together, to be able to do what we need to do for our children who are yet to be born. Not just the children that are alive today.
Right.
I'm talking about in 100 years. I got a 100-year plan, Brother King.
Hey,
my question is, where do you want to see our children and our people in the year 2125?
That's right.
How do you want them celebrating December of 2125? Where do you want them to be? And my thing is, we must stop fighting amongst ourselves.
Yes. And, last but not least, I know you like to stay up late.
Oh, man, I'm in my prime right now.
Yeah.
I'm not at my peak is 2 a.m. to 4:30.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
Because you get my messages at 5 a.m.
Exactly. What I would want you to do, in closing, brother, because I'm still in my mother's house and I don't want to keep her up. She's in the next room, and she's 86 years of age.
Oh my goodness, we should be so lucky. Give Mom my regards.
Yes, I will. And my father, he's 81.
Oh my goodness, give him my regards.
Yeah, he's in Florida, so.
All right.
But your big brother, man, is into some controversy. Call him, talk to him, and call and talk to Tariq. And Tariq, bring some unity to that, because he told me he's going to apologize because of how he said it. But I know, and I know, our elders, we all go back. He's your bigger brother, man. I know he's 80. And I know sometimes I just want to see a positive outcome. Honestly, from my heart, because I love Professor Smalls just like I love you. I love Dr. Khaled just like I love Minister Farrakhan. I loved Francis Cresswell just like I love Patricia Newton. Positive. I want to bring a positive end, because I know Tariq is saying he's gonna take them off. He said, "Fuck F the elder." That don't have to be said. All men have to do, and real women and men have to do, is call each other. And Professor Small said he tried to call him and he didn't answer. Call each other and talk like men, like we used to do. And if they go, they separate, cool. If they don't, but at least they really talk to each other. If you can facilitate that, because I don't know Tariq like that. I only know you and Professor Smalls. I would do it just like I did for Queen of Four and Phil Valentine one time, just like I tried with Ray Higgins and Ashwa Kwesi. It's just about, we want to stop the fighting, then we have to bring that conversation to them privately, not on public, and then come to unify in the public. That's all I ask you as another elder statesman to a younger brother that's coming up to become one of those elder statesmen. Please talk to your older brother and talk to your younger brother and see what you can get out of it.
You know, I remember Shashi Charlotte McIntyre.
Yes, sir.
Dr. McIntyre. I consider her my intellectual mother.
Yes.
And I remember that she was a mediator. I consider her a black diplomat.
Yeah.
And I remember that one of the things that she and I used to talk about a lot was, I remember there was a time when a little something was going on between Attorney Maddox and Minister Farrakhan.
Yes, that's right. I remember.
And I remember she came and brought them two brothers together.
Exactly.
And said, you know, I love you both.
Exactly.
And so do our people. We must come together.
Yes, we do.
We must be able to talk to each other in order to move to the next level.
Right.
If I could teach our children anything, I would teach them one thing. If I only could teach them one thing. And that is the most precious thing you have is time.
Time. Yes.
You can have all the money in the world. You can lose it tomorrow. Day after, you can make more. You can have 8 houses. They all burn down. You can build another one next day.
That's right. That's right.
But there'll never be another November 22nd, 2025.
Right.
So what you do on that day is your currency of your life.
Right.
That's why we say pay attention.
Yes.
Because your attention is a currency.
Right.
And what we have to begin to do is understand what it was that built the pyramids, the temples, Eredu of Nigeria.
Right.
Africa is the one continent that could build a wall around the continent and would never have to go outside for anything. Africa is a self-sufficient landmass.
Right.
Every type of animal that exists in the world is in Africa.
Right.
Every type of plant that exists in the world is in Africa. Every type of people that exists in the world, by variation, are in Africa. We must never forget, ultimately, where we come from.
Yeah.
And this is where we have to go in the future. We have got to bring sides together.
Yes, sir.
To make this happen, Brother King.
That's right.
We don't have time to play.
No.
We've got to make this happen. And I know feelings and hurt. And you know, I once did a presentation. In fact, I think I did it with you about the relationship between Malcolm and Elijah.
Yes, you did at Malcolm X's old place in Brooklyn. Yes, you did. You did that.
Okay.
That's right. They're about to tear that place down too. They're about to tear it down, I'm hearing, or rebuild it or something.
Okay. You know, the one thing about that relationship, I consider that to be a Black tragedy.
Yes. Yes.
I taught a college course on Malcolm for 11 years.
I remember.
And every year I would do more research. You know, having Dr. Clark as my teacher and he being one of Malcolm's history teachers.
Yes.
I got access to a lot of information. I also was friend to Earl Grant, who was a very good friend. In fact, in the movie, he's the one at the end that Malcolm gets very quick with in terms of having the agenda for the meeting. And then as the scene is about to end, he grabs Earl and hugs him because he knows something's going to happen. And I had a chance to speak to Earl Grant for a number of years. He used to do a lot of work at the African Poetry Theater.
Right.
And one year he put up, they had a art gallery where they showed pictures of Malcolm that Earl Grant had taken that nobody had ever seen before.
Right.
And I was doing a presentation at Nubian Heritage, which was down the block.
Yes.
On Jamaica Avenue.
Yeah, back in the day, yes, it was. Right.
And the sister that used to drive him home used to drive me home, so I didn't have to take the bus.
Right, Jamaica.
So I had a chance to really talk with Brother Grant. He has since joined the Ancestors. And I remember he told me stories about the inner workings of the Nation of Islam and about the Afro-American Unity, organization that Malcolm was creating, and the Mosque Incorporated. And he told me very deep stories about the emotion of it. It was a tragedy.
Yes.
What happened between the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Malcolm.
Yeah.
I think of my own son, and I'm sure you think of Prince, your son, your children,
yes,
who love you and honor you and respect you.
Yeah.
I think of Harun Nasset.
Your son. Yeah.
And what would happen if, for whatever reason, which wouldn't happen in this life, but in this case, if I did something that they didn't approve of? That love, Malcolm called it adore. He used the word adore, that he adored.
Yes, he did.
The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. It was beyond. And there were so many emotional connections as it related to him losing his father young, being a Garveyite. And now here you have the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who took the time while he was incarcerated to write letters to him, to support him. And now here he was out and he was in the presence. I remember that scene in Malcolm X by Spike Lee, where he's going to meet the Honorable Elijah Muhammad for the first time. And Malcolm being a tall man and Elijah Muhammad being a shorter stature man, that Malcolm didn't know, how to position his body. He was so he was so malleable. He was in the presence of God to him.
Yes.
Okay, he didn't know to bend. You can see him bending onto the side. You can see tears coming out of his eyes.
Yes.
And I can imagine what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad felt towards Malcolm. And then emotion set in.
Yeah.
And it separated those two great men.
Yes.
We can't let that happen under any circumstances, for any reason whatsoever.
No, sir.
And I'm saying this not just in terms of specific cases.
Right.
I'm talking about us as a people.
As a people.
We have to keep ourselves open to be able to adjust. And we always have to realize that it's not about me, it's about us. The one thing I learned about getting married and having children, before I was married with children, it was I, me, and mine.
Right.
After I got married and had children, it was we, us, and ours.
Right.
Remember going back to what separated the lower human from the higher human. Is the idea of sharing.
That's right.
And we also have to share our emotions with each other. Right. We also have to let us know that I'm hurt. I'm hurt. What has happened has hurt me.
That's right.
We recognize whatever part I played in that hurt, let me reconcile.
Right.
Because, brother, we are a people that are hurt.
Right.
We are hurt internally. And sometimes hurt people hurt people.
That's right.
The hardest hard equals the hardest hurt.
Right.
That's how I used to be around my children when I used to teach them.
Right.
All them roughnecks. As hard as you are, you're really masking and protecting your sensitivity.
That's right.
Because you've been hurt for so long.
That's right.
And what Dr. Joy Degree tells us about that intergenerational and that transgenerational hurt that we hand down to our children, because what we went through and what our parents went through and what our grandparents went through, and it was handed down from generation to generation.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have to realize that if I took you back 20 generations, 500 years, it took 1,048,576 people to bring you into existence.
Mm-hmm.
When you think of how many ancestors you have. So with that pain and with that hurt, you also have success.
Yes.
You also have beauty. Know that. Vibe on that. And bring yourself to another level of understanding in all the things that we do with each other.
Mm-hmm.
It is un-African. It is inhuman for us not to love ourselves.
Mm.
When I'm passing in the street with people, I'm always speaking to people. It's un-African for us not to greet each other.
Mm.
And you know, we'll wrap up on this because I know that Mom is ready to go to sleep. My father was close to 6 feet for as long as I've known him. He joined the Ancestors in 1998. My father, Booker T. Sr., was close to 6 feet and somewhere between 190 and 210 pounds. I don't know what my father's voice sounds like when he raises it. My father never raised his voice. I don't know what my father's voice sounds like.
Wow.
My father was a gentle man. In every sense of the word, what a gentle man is.
Mm.
And we're living in a world where we think that might is right, but it's not.
Right.
Right is might. Ma'at, justice and balance,
Yes.
harmony. And my father taught me, and he told, because my father in Tuskegee said that George Washington Carver used to always tell them, never let another human drag you down so low as to make you hate them.
Mm.
Because the hate that's in your heart is the hate that you're going to carry even sometimes towards yourself.
Mm.
And so, brother, we have work to do.
Yeah.
We have people that we have to talk to,
Yeah.
but first we have to talk to ourselves. And to all those who are on board today,
Yes, sir.
what I'm asking you is to support the work that your scholars are doing out here.
Yes, sir.
Support the work that King Simon is doing. He's bringing these scholars to you to have these conversations.
Yes, sir.
Please support the work that I'm doing.
Yes, sir.
I wrote 5 books.
Yes, he has.
I'm not writing any more books. I'm writing curriculums from now. The 5 books that I wrote, I didn't write because I was a writer. I wrote because I had something to say. So from William Leo Hansberry, the man that he was the first person to develop an African studies program to teach our history, because up until then, we only studied it in American history.
Mm-hmm.
William Leo Hansberry. The second book I wrote was Spirituality Before Religions,
Mm-hmm.
because I wanted to prepare you for the book that I wanted to write, Shabaka Stone. But Shabaka Stone is a cosmic story of the blackness of the universe, but now I needed to take that blackness down from the cosmos, bring it down to Earth, and I wrote Carbon Before Melanin. But then, after that, I had to then codify and materialize that God quality. And so I wrote, Who Were the Moors Before the Moors? And I subtitled it, Me a Moor. And we can close out on this because I'm going to read the last paragraph.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I had to say will tell you why I wrote the book. And what the last line says in the book simply says, Who were the Moors before the Moors? Me a Moor. How about you?
Mm-hmm.
Know who you are and love who you are. And all praises due our brother, Dr. Sebi.
Yes, sir.
Happy birthday, happy Earth Day to my brother. I will carry your lessons with me all the days of my life. I thank you for all that you've done to share with us a simple understanding there's only one thing that causes disease, and that's mucus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Mucus. The mucus coagulates and becomes tumors. It becomes diseases. Long before humans first appeared in Africa, our Creator prepared the table for us to eat from. And anything that was natural was what we should be eating right now. And that's what our brother taught us.
That's right.
So happy birthday,
Happy
Dr.
born.
Sebi.
And
I appreciate your coming through this world.
yes, sir.
And I pay attention
Yes,
to
sir.
what you've taught us.
Yes, yeah. Thank you.
All
Thank you.
power to the people.
That's right. It ain't over until we win, right?
Keep on keeping on.
Keep it on. Family, please support our brother Kaba Kamene. His Cash App, $ Kaba Kamene 7. His Amazon for all of his books. Just go to Kaba Kamene at Amazon. I've been showing the books, as y'all can see. I like to show things that's going on. And of course, his website is kabakamene.com. It'll lead you to the gum road and support whatever he's doing. I know there's a few more documentaries, and Amadeus Christ and Tariq is putting it out. Pray for all of the older elders and the younger elders that are coming up, the young, older scholars and young, older scholars. And again, please do me that favor and talk to them both, please, Kaba. I know you can do it. You know, I know you, because you can do it. I know it. And, so I appreciate you so much. Let me give you a well-deserved round of applause for coming on, my brother. Be safe. I love you and nobody can stop me from loving you, sir.
I appreciate that. And I love you, brother. And I love all those that are on audience today.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's our time.
It's our time. That's right. Take care. All right.
Peace,
Peace
brother,
out.
man.
Yes, sir. All right. That's our beautiful brother, Kaba Kamene, man. Oh, man. What a beautiful. It's now 12 midnight in the East Coast, man. Man. Big up to his wife, his children, his family, all of them, man. Big up to all of them. They treat me so well. And again, I love these elders, man. And I really want to see the unification of the young and the old. I don't want people dogging out Professor Small. I don't want them dogging out. Back in the day, I had to defend Kaba back in the day. A lot of people don't realize that against another speaker. And, I got no problem defending. I have no problem defending. Verbally or physically, whatever it takes, or protecting. That's why I do security when not even being paid for it. I've trained to do it. Dr. Khalid, Mr. Farrakhan, FY trained me. The dojos of New York City has trained me, and I'm really good at what I do. But I don't brag about it. It's just, I studied martial arts not for the belts. I studied to get home safely, to have a cool and calm mind, to respect that as we walk in peace, and fear will not prevail. We are not the aggressors, but if we are attacked, we fight with those who fight with us. And if we must fight, we fight to the death, either of our enemy or to the death, period. That has been my creed since 1989 in the dojo. That's been my creed. I say that as a prayer every day. So I understand the mission. I understand the assignment. And people study self-defense and martial arts not to get into the fight, but to avoid the fight, really and truly, to protect yourself. That's why we studied martial arts or boxing or whatever you got into. I'm a little frame dude. I ain't got no time to be playing games with big dudes. I'm not going to, that's just why I don't play games with big dudes. And our teachers, from Professor V to Dr. Moses Powell to Professor Anthony to Soke Littlejohn to Master Duncan to Steve Muhammad, Steve Muhammad, Siju Mutaka Bear, and all these great ones that have trained us, or we've gotten information from David James, Professor David James. They're not play. They said 3 seconds, no more than 5 seconds. That's it. We ain't got no time to be dancing. If you're doing, you're dancing. We ain't got no time to dance because it's been proven on the streets of New York, in the nightclubs of New York, in the train stations of New York. We've proven ourselves over and over again here. So again, thanks to Kaba Kamene for sharing his wisdom with us, for sharing his greatness. Make sure y'all support him and donate to him at Cash App, $ Kaba Kamene. There's a Cash App right here. Or buy his books. Go buy his books. His books are available. He got 5 books. He says he ain't writing no more. He's doing curriculums and workbooks and all of that now. So go buy his 5 books that he has out. 5 represents power and refinement in the 5% in the Nation of Islam doctrine and jargon. 5. So I'm glad he got his 5 books ready. I got 5 books online also that's being sold right now. The rest are ebooks right now. But I'm going to write like 10 books and that's it. So we're going to close out with Dr. Sebi. Today is his 92nd cycle around the moon, cycle around the sun. And I miss Dr. Sebi. He was a good brother. I talked to him. Used to talk to him personally on the phone, and unless somebody, changes his phone or changes his chip or whatever. But there was a lot of stuff behind our brother, Dr. Sebi. And big up to Mr. G and Brother Holly Hammett for donating to the channel. And anybody that can donate, you can use Venmo, you use Cash App, you can use Super Chat, Super Sticker. Thank you for your donation if you have. The Cash App is my son and I, so you might see my son's name, Shaya Allah. And Chime, you could also use Chime just in case you want to donate to the channel. Chime is also there. Family, this has been a very historic, as you see, I plead with the unity. I want to see unity, but I do want everybody to get what they're supposed to get from whatever European. If it's about reparations, FBA got to get theirs. The Caribbean got to get theirs from Britain. FBA got to get theirs from the invaders of Europe over here. South America got to get it from Spain. Let's get it. Let's get it. But be respectful. And everybody got to be respectful in their delineation. That's very important. That's what I feel. So for the record, I want to see Foundation of Black America, as they're called today, to get what they want to get and what they really deserve for building and making America great. This indigenous part of the land where the indigenous people were. So, and I want to see a united Caribbean. I want to see a united South America. I want to see a united Canada. I want to see a united Africa. Because once you unite all those different places, Europe can't run no more. They're very small. They can't run. And Europeans can't run. And once all of us use our spiritual magic and our spiritual sciences on them, oh, they can't run and they can't hide. Oh, they're going to have to go back to the Caucasus Mountain and start all over again. Believe that when I say that. and big up to all the brothers and sisters that are doing the AI videos like that. So I really like the AI movies that are telling you got to go back to the Caucasus Mountains. That's deep. I love that AI video. So on that note, let me close out first with the prayers of the mantra of Dr. B. Sirius. I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. And let's close out with Dr. Delbert Blair, who not only had a family member from the Caribbean, but also one of his parents was from the Caribbean, and one of his parents was from his Foundation of Black American, from the indigenous lands of America, of the greater America, because all of it is the Americas. Dr. Blair used to say, please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open up my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for all that you have offered, Dr. Blair, that all you're still offering through your knowledge, and also to Dr. B. And once again, we want to thank Brother Kaba. Make sure you go to his website. Let me put the website again. It's all pinned to the top of the chat, Kaba Kamene. There it is, kabakamene.com, kabakamene.com. Again, donate to this channel. On or off, you can donate to the channel anytime you want. All right, to keep positive broadcasting going. Because like I said, the name of this, my pro, is KSP TV. KSP is King Simon Presents. And Les Brown gave me the last part, OQP, only quality people. only quality people. King Simon presents only quality people. So on that note, thank y'all very much for being a part. Abundance, I seen you. Mystic Ivy, thank you very much. New Diamonds, Dr. Shakira, everybody that was on, everybody that donated and helped me out and donated, spread love or buy my books or whatever. Thank you so much for your support. Next time you see me, more than likely we'll be in Georgia. got some moves to make. Next week, while I'm in Georgia, boom, we're gonna have Professor Smalls right here. I ain't playing with y'all. I'm gonna have Professor Smalls right here with us because we're preparing for the event that we got coming up. I was on Star Report today. If y'all heard me on Star Report, go ahead and go check out Star Report. He let me rock and let me talk. Big up to Star from Star Report. But misunderstandings and healing through it, spiritually and physically. So we're going to speak about it on December 3rd, and I will allow people to come up and ask Professor Smalls some questions if that's what you want to do. We'll probably be on until 11 o'clock that day also. And also just want to remind all you beautiful people, this coming Sunday, I don't want you to miss this one. It's going to be a public and a private. Dr. Philip Valentine and Brother B. Dell, an exclusive conversation and Q&A questions session, Q&A session, the journey of the torchbearers. That's going to happen right here on KSP Media, right here on this YouTube channel first, and then it's going to go straight to membership. And then it's also going to be on Patreon at King Simon Production. Go to Patreon and put in King Simon Productions and you can join my Patreon. Both of them are just $9.99. All right, that's the Patreon. And what else is coming up? Let's talk about the tribute to Baba Heru, our celebration of life happening at 120 East 125th Street at in New York, in Harlem, New York, at the Caribbean Cultural Center African Diaspora Institute from 1 p.m. until they tell us we have to leave of our dear brother on December the 6th. And on the 7th, we're going to celebrate him again in Brooklyn at Medgar Evers College over there at 1650 Bedford Avenue. And that's going to be at 1 p.m. on Sunday, December the 7th. And on December the 13th, come on out and speak to Professor Smalls yourself and hear him speak on the global spiritual work, how to use it correctly before he heads to Ghana on December 13th at Nicholas, Brooklyn. That's 1396 Fulton Street, between New York and Brooklyn Avenues. We're going to have great food and all of that stuff is going to be there. Some great vendors will be there. So come on out and enjoy all that we have to offer, all that's happening with Professor Smalls. And you get to ask him any question you want because he don't back down from questioning. That's one thing he don't. The day before that, we will be at the UBS Arena doing a benefit concert for Jamaica. Sean Paul, Shaggy, Kess. Go to Ticketmasters if you want to come. More likely, I might be there on the stage or doing something. Kamani Marley, Gramps, Morgan, Richie Stevens, Mikey Spice. I had a dream that I'm supposed to be on the stage soon, though. So all I have to do is talk to certain people. If I don't want to go, I won't go. But it is what it is. So big up to everybody that's going to be there and all those entertainers. Most of them I know personally, so I can't wait. Shaggy and I went to Erasmus High School back in the day, and we used to do studio work back in the day. So big up to him. And on the 21st, Brother Shabazz, I open a production, and his beautiful wife Jamila, Queen of Four, will be in the building. Woman/Man, Heal Thyself. The openers will be myself and Paris Williams. Get your tickets right now. You can call or text him or scan that QR code, and I hope to see y'all in the building. Big up to Nicholas Brooklyn, of course. Big up to Nicholas Brooklyn, the one in Nicholas Culture. Make sure you support them and get your 10% off if you mention them. Big up to New Diamonds. She was in the chat earlier. Also, big up to Dr. Shakira Moore. She was in the chat earlier. Also, big up to Abundance Child. She was also in the chat earlier. And big up to Professor Zahalia. She, I believe, is in the chat also. Big up to her. Martial arts, Sanuka Saru Jiu-Jitsu for 30-something years. very good at a dance instructor and everything, dance etiquette and all that. Make sure you support her. And also big up to Ascended Infinite Goddess. I will be doing something with her on an online catapult your energy into 2026. Me and some other great people will be together. So make sure you go to ascendinginfinitegoddess.com for your tickets from 12 to 4:30 p.m. on the 20th, right before I do the Queen of Four event. Big up to my son. My audio book is completed, family. My audio book is completed. We will be uploading it to Amazon. If you want the audio book, the Numerovation for Mental Stability audiobook. If you can't read or you don't want to read and you want to listen, we got the frequency behind it. We got all of that. So my son had to do a lot of editing. That's why it took almost a year for him to get it out, because there was a lot of editing, a lot of, mastering. And, when you're in the studio, you got to master things to make sure everything is even. I've been hearing it. I've been listening to it. He sent me the copy, and me and Joshua Sarah are going to work on uploading it to Amazon so you can purchase it for your own listening. For your own listening, the word is at the tip of my tongue, but y'all know what I'm trying to say. So big up to my son and his recording studio. And let me just say this disclaimer: the views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Okay? And last but not least, let's shout out my brother, Lloyd-Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Make sure you show him some love. That's our brother. And of course, I'll be returning with more Today's Consciousness in the Conscious Community. Oh, yeah, we're going to get it in. We're going to get it in, all right? And big up to Mr. G. Thank you very much, Mr. G. I'm going to play, I guess what, Mr. G, I'm going to play something from the lecture I did with Dr. Sebi back in the day. So check this out. I'll play some of it right now as we close out. Let me make sure we bring Dr. Sebi back to the forefront. Where is it? There you go. There's my Baba Dr. Sebi. We're getting ready to turn it up, right, Doc? We're going to turn it up like we know how to do it. Hold on one second. We're going to turn it up. This was in 2009 at the St. Anthony's Baptist Church. My production, mine and Dr. Sebi's production. We co-produced this. So I'm going to just play a few of it before we close out. Have a great day, afternoon, and evening. And remember, family, I love you because I love me. Here's our brother, Dr. Sebi, celebrating 92 years. He would have been celebrating 92 years as of before 12 o'clock today. All right. Today now is Bruce Lee's birthday. Big up to Bruce Lee, one of the inspirations into martial arts, Master Lee. Today is Bruce Lee's birthday. So big up to Bruce Lee. All right. All right. Take care.
You call that a thief and a murderer. But in the days when we were home, sitting under the trees, without any clothes on, we were quite happy, living exactly the way that God intended for us to live. Nobody punched the clock. Nobody went to school. You know what it is like? Telling an eagle, hey eagle, you can't make your nest. You need to go to school to learn to weave your nest. Hey beaver, how did you make the dam? You didn't go to school. You need to go to school to learn to make a dam to catch a fish. But look at what they did to us. Do you know, brothers and sisters, that you don't breathe through your nose? Your blood does not receive the oxygen through your nose that goes to your lungs. It is your pores that receive that oxygen. But you have to be what they call naked. Naked. You said I was naked? Well, you didn't have any clothes on, but the God made clothes. Oh, but we believed that we were savages. And then the two people that said that we were savages were not Chinese, were not Japanese, they were not Mayan, they were not American Indian. There were two people who said we were savages. And then you and I will repeat that. the Arabs, and the Caucasian. And we believe them. So when we believe that we were savage because they said it, we telling God Almighty that he didn't know what he was doing when he made us naked. But I'm going to give you guys an example as to what nakedness does. What's it do for you? I was summoned to go to Venezuela. Why? Because an 18-year-old girl didn't like to wear clothes. She would be foaming by her mouth. When they put the clothes on her, she would foam. She'd be nervous. They took her to England, they took her to Paris, they took her to Japan, they took her all over for psychiatric treatment. And I'm the last man on the totem pole. Well, there's an herbalist over there. He says he cure all kinds of diseases. Just try him. They paid my way to Venezuela. The man even said, look, I'm not going to send no advance payment. I'm going to pay for your passage and your hotel because I have to see you work first. I said, okay, I'll go on that because I'm confident. When I got to Maracaibo, Venezuela, the little girl is in her room naked. The doctor, the father told me, your patient is in her room. When I got in there, she didn't have any clothes on. She was natural. She said, hi. She said, hi. Are you going to ask me a bunch of questions? I said, I have two. Only two. And depending on the person is responded to, there may only be one. She said, oh yeah? I said, yes. I'm not the psychiatrist or the neuropathologist. I'm someone that's coming from a different perspective, with something natural from God Almighty. She said, what's the question? How do you feel when you put your clothes on? She said, come, I'll show you. And she took me to the other room. And what I saw was a bunch of paintings in sand, colored sand, with landscapes, seascapes, all kinds of beautiful things. I said, I don't need to ask the second question. She said, why? I say, has your mother or your father ever tell you that you were snoring profusely? She said, yes, I've been snoring loud ever since I was 8 years of age. What was going on with the girl? She was clogged. She was clogged. But taking off her clothes, she allowed the oxygen to enter her body now all over, not only through her nose. The girl put her clothes back on because I gave her the compound. She began to feel different. I got the $5,000 to do a minute job. That's us. We could do it where no one else could do it. Right. But they put fear in us. When we go home tonight, you open that refrigerator and you're going to see some awful things. That's why there is a brother in town that I couldn't call him. His name is Ron Seaborn. Ron Seaborn wrote a book, the Children Health Food Book. Brothers and sisters, try to find that book. You may buy it from me because I'm going to tell Ron to send the book to me. In this book, he's showing the sugar demons, the starch creatures, the meat monsters, and the dairy goons. Have you seen the book? In there, you have seen the book. Yes. This book, when two little girls took the book home and read this book and saw that the diseases, that all these things that the parents had in the cat